good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome. My name is Sumitra, and today's business topic is all reasons why more and more people are moving to the online space too soon. So before I get started, I just want to quickly introduce myself and my new followers. My name is Sumitra Rampasad, as I mentioned, and I'm originally from the Caribbean island of Trinidad and Tobago. I live in Calgary, Canada, but right now I am actually in the Netherlands. I'm heading back this week. I've been here for 10 days. And the reason it's possible is because my business is online and I get to bring it wherever I go once there's internet. So for the past 10 days, I have been doing my work here in the Netherlands plus having the opportunity to explore this a beautiful and amazing European country. So if you want to change up your life and if you want to start claiming back your time and still having the ability and the capacity to earn in a different way, then this is the right fit for you. So you just could check it out, right? So let's jump into today's business topic. And of course, I would love to know where you are watching me from. So just let me know in the comments. So today's topic is four reasons why more and more people are jumping into the online space. And the first one would be job security is actually a myth, right? And COVID or the past 2 years, 2020, burst that bubble for many people. And personally, for me, while I was working in the construction industry for the 10 years, I was hired for a specific project. In construction, when you start from ground up, at some point the project will end because we were actually building something, and then we have to hand it over. So at the end of all of it, of every project, the thought would be on my mind where what if my company doesn't get the next project to then put me on that, right? So job security for me, even though they told me I had a permanent job, in the back of my mind, I knew fully well if they didn't have a place to put me, then guess what? They can only keep me for that much time, right? Yes, as an engineer, they would probably keep me a little bit longer than someone else newer and younger than me. But outside of that, they could only keep me for that much time if they didn't have any projects. So job security to me, I always knew that when I'm depending on someone else for my bread and butter, it's not going to be worth it long time or it's not long term and it's not something that I'm willing to risk. So I was always looking for another way to earn income. I just didn't know exactly what it was. And then when COVID happened, a lot of people experienced that today, for tomorrow they were just out of a job and they didn't have a backup plan, right? So the importance of a backup plan is one of the reasons why so many people are moving online. It's not that they want to leave their job like I did. I didn't like my career. It's not that they have to. We have so many people who they still love their career and they're still doing it, but they're now doing it in a more empowered way because guess what? They're not relying on that as the only source of income, right? So that's number one. The second one is the concept of the harder you work or the more you do equates to more time and money. That is so not true, right? And if you're a hard worker and you're anything like how I was in the corporate world, you would soon learn that the harder you work, the more work they actually give you. And it left these spaces for people to be lazy and to not do their work, right? Because, and when you complain about that, and I'm saying the word complain because it came across as a complaint, but what you're really doing is standing up for yourself if you start to see it going that way and they take it as a complaint. But what you're really trying to tell them is, you know what? I am overwhelmed. I'm frustrated. Here I am being loyal to you. Here I am picking up some of the slack. Here I am doing the work. But what about that person over there? Right? Why are they still getting the salary? Why am I not getting a bigger salary? But they keep them because they know that you will do the work, right? How many of you have experienced that where you work harder to show that you're capable, to show that you're loyal, to show that you're determined, and it only results in you getting more work and having less time for yourself. And because they become so dependent on you, when you want vacation, it's harder for them to give it to you, right? I had a time where I kept all my vacation and it came up to 3 weeks and I wanted to do a trip to Las Vegas and then I wanted to go to Canada, right? Do you know I had to actually go to Las Vegas for, I think it was a week and come back to Trinidad to finish a project we sport and then the next day fly out to Canada. I couldn't do both at the same time because my manager did not want to approve it. And when I did that and the owners of the company asked me, well, why didn't I go to them? And the question is, why do I have to go above my manager to get something that I want? As in, I'm a hard worker, right? And I put things in place where I would do most of the monthly report. I would actually take my laptop and do it away, and then he just had to put it together, right? Not anything, not rocket science, but that's what hard work actually gives you. Now, don't get me wrong, right? I work really hard in my business right now as well, but I want to make sure that my efforts are giving me exactly what I want, which is time and financial freedom, right? That is what I'm building up to have all of my time to get back Vishan his time and to have true financial freedom, right? So that's why people are moving online because the online space gives you back your time and you also get to earn more money, right? The third thing is people are starting to realize that they don't only need money, they need time because without time, you don't get to enjoy life, right? You don't get to be there with your kids, with your family, you don't get to travel with them, you don't get to go to vacations with them. And more and more, that quality time is becoming top of mind in the world. So therefore, the online space gives you that, especially a business like this where you get to work from anywhere. I don't need to be physically present in Canada, which is where I found this business. I can run this business from here. I've been doing it in the Netherlands for the past 10 days, right? So that's number three. And the fourth one is it's accessible, right? Online is accessible. And that means you can work from anywhere with the internet. And data is so prevalent right now and so common right now. It's very easy to just pick up a SIM card for any country. I'm using a UK SIM card here because we have UK cards, a UK SIM. I have a Trinidad SIM, access to a Trinidad SIM still. And the US, I used to have a US SIM, but now my phone package actually covers the US as well as Canada. So therefore, I don't need that. But data is something you can get around the world. And then for those remote countries, there are new things like Starlink and things like that. So as long as you make those investments into those tiny things, then guess what? You can carry your business wherever you go. And because it's a business, you can actually write off those costs because that's something part of running your business, right? So for me, working online is a no brainer. The only problem I had 6 years ago when I started this is I didn't have any business experience. So, therefore, I didn't want to have to go back to school to learn what is a website, to learn about funnels, to build funnels, things like that. So, therefore, this particular business model works perfectly because those things were done for me. Yes, I have to learn how to create a know what I want on the website, sorry, but someone is creating it for me in the back end of my business. My funnels, everything, it's done, it's managed for me. So I have to learn some tech things, but I don't have to get really, really techy, right? My other problem when I started this business is I didn't have a business idea, right? I didn't have a product that I wanted to sell because you have to sell something, whether it's form of a physical product or a workshop or something, right? A course, sorry, that's the word I was looking for. You have to be able to sell something, right? And I didn't have anything in my mind or in my back pocket to sell. I didn't feel like I have that skill to make something, or people are good with their hands, so they make these sculptures and sell it, or jewelry, things like that. I didn't feel like that. So when I found this business model where everything was provided in one space, including access to high commission paying products, I knew that this was it because this was a business in a box for someone who didn't have a business idea but wanted to do a business. So that fit perfectly for me. Another thing that I was scared about in the online space is I have never done anything like this to put myself online and things like that. And I soon realized that, you know what, before I went into my job and I had to go into meetings with these big meetings with the CEO and whatever, I didn't know how to do that either, right? I didn't know how to show up in those meetings, but I learned how to do it. So it was no different here. I learned how to put myself on the internet strategically. I learned how to build this online business. And that's exactly what we want to do to teach you how to do it as well, right? So just to recap, the four reasons or the four main reasons why people are moving to the online space is one, job security is a myth. Two, working harder does not give you more money and time. There is a limit and there is a cap at some point. Three, people are realizing that quality time is just as important as having the money to do the quality time. It's not only about money anymore, right? It's what you do with the money, right? So money is important, but it's what you do with the money. And for the online space is very accessible. So therefore you can take this business model or many other business models with you, which gives you time to vacation longer. You can do all sorts of stuff with it, right? So that's it for me. before I go, if you do want to watch our free 90-minute workshop to see more about how this business can change your life, then just check the comments and you will see it there to register. I am noticing this whole trip that I have a tan, and it's the shape of my glasses. The last time I saw that was when I was working in a construction site. It does remind me of those days. All right, guys. So that's it for me. Take care, and I will see you guys next week.